All right. It's the Live Drive Jive Archive with your host, Frank Monday. Why? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. And welcome. I've got a cushion of about 6-7 car lengths in front of me. I got no one on either side. Well, one guy going by. And that's the only time I adjust the camera, is when I got that cushion. So you all know that I know what I'm doing. I hope you're doing well this morning out in Happy Land. All's well here. I got some guy flashing me from behind, even though I'm doing 100. But he wants to push it. Let's see. No, not really. He's going slightly faster than me. I don't understand what his fucking problem is. Cockbag. That's what his problem is. He's a cockbag. Oh, now I know. We have got a very Lovecraftian day this morning. There are dark, foreboding clouds. I saw a murder of crows fly by the bridge this morning. Now the old traffic conditions are turning into shit soup up ahead. AI must be in control. Alright, this guy's in a Lexus. He's the one flashing me. Maybe I should get in behind him and flash him. So I was watching a little show this morning, and they mentioned some. Hey, there goes another murder of crows. Nice. That means winter is on its way. Winter is nearly here. I figured out that if my camera is touching the wall over here, the side of the car, then it will be more stable. See that? Now it's not bouncing. So that's the way I like to keep it if I can. Not a lot going on, honestly. Woke up, my mind was blank. So I did some invocations and incantations for prosperity and protection. Well, actually, I sat in meditation for a while, reflecting on imagery from dreamland. Nothing to share with you on that front. I have got a new group of kids this year. I mean, in addition to all the other groups, they're all new really, but one specific group that is studying for their Dogwood certificate, which is a British Columbian diploma, high school equivalency diploma, kind of like a GED, I guess. And I don't know, one of them thinks he's a little gangster. He wears like gangster clothes and tries to have like a gangster attitude. What is this kid, like 16? And I think about the weaponized culture of the US and how all of that was organized and implemented by groups within the CIA. they directly sought out and promoted those parts of the culture that were most fringe and aberrant into the mainstream. So I'll give you an example. Like, there was a band called the Sugar Hill Gang, and they wrote an anti-drug song called White Lines. Ticket to ride, White Line Highway. Tell all your friends they can go my way. Pay your toll, sell your soul. Pound for pound costs more than gold. The longer you stay, the more you pay. My white lines go a long way, either up your nose or through your veins, with nothing to gain except killing your brain. Freeze. Rocket. So the Sugar Hill Gang was highlighting cocaine, the drug epidemic, but telling you to avoid it, right? Trying to be anti-drug. And they didn't receive much recognition for their work. In Los Angeles, where I grew up, the heart of the Hollywood culture and promotion of a mainstream pop culture among the U.S., nationwide. So what did get promoted and what got sought out by these intelligence officers, white papers on it. I mean, I'm not speculating. This has been FOIA, Freedom of Information Act, has been released that's what these guys were up to, was putting crack cocaine into the low-income housing projects, into the poorer neighborhoods, the ghettos, and then promoting gangster rap, signing big names like NWA, Eazy-E. Woke up quick at about noon, just thought that I had to be in Compton soon. I got to get drunk before the day begins, before my mother starts bitching about my friends. About to go and damn near went blind. Young niggas at the hood throwing up gang signs. Blah, 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 so on and so forth. So NWA, niggas with attitude. Who else? Ice Cube. DJ Quick is the name that I take much, much pride in. No limos to ride in and no egos to hide in. That type of thing was highly promoted, sold on tapes, cassette tapes. And everybody was listening to it. It was played a lot of airtime on the radio. And so this whole gangster culture is promoted by Hollywood as a way to disenfranchise people, to indoctrinate them into a kind of debased, demonic, just culture of silliness, like packing a gat and dealing drugs and pistol whipping hookers. And oh, good God. And the kids love it. They think it's great. And so China has got kind of a fringe rap scene. But here's the thing, there's been a new mandate passed down from the emperor here in the Celestial Kingdom, and they're doing away with girly boys. No more effeminate men will be allowed to be on television. The LGBT community has to go back underground. It's going to become taboo again, which it's always been. They kind of loosened up the reins a little bit around the time of the Olympics because they wanted to be more friendly to the international community. And one of the big agenda-driven things of the deep state is to make people transhuman. So get rid of the mother and father archetypes and turn people into decadent, worn out wastrels engaged in a debauched culture of depravity and insanity. I mean, there's always been a fringe element of lighten your loafer type of people, which is fine. Even the ancient Greeks and Romans had this element, but it wasn't openly promoted in society. On the one hand, you don't want to be overly critical of individuals who, like, say, want to engage in gay marriage. That's fine, if that's their thing, but the natural percentage of that is very low. Statistically, it's like 1 to 2% of the population, and as a result, it should only garner 1 to 2% of the public expression. But it definitely shouldn't be vilified. I mean, if an individual is homosexual or transsexual or wants to bark like a dog, then that's fine and dandy. You don't want to go out gay bashing and hurt folks like that, which during my generation of growing up, it was taboo to the extreme. And those types of folks had to, hide out in their own communities and so on and so forth. But at the same time, you don't want to go over the top and try to promote it as a general trend among young folks. That's just insanity. Kids should be left alone and not bothered with that type of nonsense. For one thing, they don't come into their sexuality until they're nearing their 20s. So why should any of that even infiltrate the youth? Kids should be taught to engage in their studies and do healthful, community-based activities, not taught to twerk and shake their ass and put on lipstick and wear a dress, especially if they're a boy. I mean, come on. Boys are boys, girls are girls. What, are you trying to put an end to humanity? That's a humanity-ending scenario, right? If everyone just engages in, because what does your sexuality have to do with anyone publicly anyway? If that's a choice you make privately within yourself, or if you believe that you're naturally inclined due to, maybe certain factors in your genetic makeup or in your upbringing or in your pathology, then that's fine and dandy. But and here's where I agree with China on censorious control on a certain level. Like, generally, I just agree with censorship, but when you get behind certain anti-human, inhuman agendas and promote those in the public sphere, in the Commonwealth, how does that have any kind of healthy result on society? So China bans a few things, quite a few things actually, but among them are horror movies, like slasher movies, just gratuitous, violent murder movies. They're banned here. You won't see them. They would rather promote family-oriented, moral building type television shows and stuff. I agree with them. I like cosmic horror of the style of Ambrose Bierce and Alderon Blackthorne and H.P. Lovecraft, but that type of cosmic horror isn't. It's subtle. It's mostly based on mystery, suspense, and innuendo. It's Alfred Hitchcock style. Even that's not promoted here. You don't even have a Halloween culture at all. It's taboo. It's banned, which I like. I honestly like the Halloween aspect and the Day of the Dead type thing, but they take their Day of the Dead very serious. Like, their tomb sweeping day is meant to be very somber and sullen. There aren't any festivities. Like, it's not a happy day. You go and tomb sweep, and it's not necessarily a sad day either, but it's more a day of obsequies and mourning and, you know, loss, and maybe not mourning, but a somber attitude, an attitude of dignity and respect for those who have gone before. Plum Blossom Lane, I went over and shot some footage of the cemetery yesterday. I'm thinking about how I can organize a video to highlight this particular road and my intuitive grasp that it's a burial site, and just knowing that. And like I said the other day, I saw like 3 car accidents, and there isn't a week goes by that there isn't an accident of some kind on this road. So the horror slasher films are banned. Transgenders and effeminate men are now banned on television. Russia did it too. You know, it seems like the so-called third world, these repressive states, are the ones promoting core family values of mom and dad. And China's opened up on its one-child policy. It's now they're encouraging everyone to have 3 children in the family. So the West, as it spirals down into decadent debauchery and instituting greater attacks on liberty, is really falling behind. They're allowing the infrastructure to fall apart. They're allowing a kind of abnormal, deviant culture to usurp the role of family. You know, you've got folks with families like 1 kid, and then the family breaks up, and you've got 1 kid being raised by a broken home and then taken over by the state. That's an alarming trend. So huge fail in that department. And what prompted all of this is my reflection on the Video Music Awards that happened a couple days ago, and Chairman Beijing Biden coming out and saying, it's really not about your freedoms. I'm losing patience with the Constitution and the American people. I mean, what has happened to the states? They're tearing down all the culture that we were raised on as being the heroes of our nation, and all of the values, the morals that we were taught as being correct are now being vilified and blamed for society's ills and woes, and it's just not true. Our traditional family structure and working hard to get things done is the correct method of building communities and a nation. And this party all night, men wearing high heels and lipstick is just an absolute affront to day-to-day reality. It's not the direction you want to go, guys. It's not, believe me. I know. It's a clown world type of thing. Jesus, man. They should, now I was going to say maybe a light should be installed here, right that back there, to prevent folks from getting into trouble back at that little intersection. Quite a few of the accidents happen right back there. So as long as you're aware going through there, and then right up here's another spot where a lot of the accidents happen. So as long as you're got your thinking cap on at those two spots, then you're all right. Which I do. I pay careful attention at both locations. Jesus, have I gone 20 minutes on this diatribe this morning? Unreal. That's longer than a live drive jive should go. Here's a concrete truck. All these little McMansions right here. There was like 2 or 3 of them are being renovated, and they've even built an entirely new one right in the midst of them. And I thought about investing in that little piece of land, but they don't allow it anyway. It's not like, they'd sell it for, dozens of millions, like probably 50 million to get one of those little spots. RMB, which is like 10 million US. Come on. For a little garbage piece of land with a little garbage building on it. It's a kind of insanity that goes beyond what is comprehensible by the human mind. So I'll sign off with this, y'all. Be tolerant and kind to other people, but don't promote just clown world nonsense in your day-to-day life. What a joke. I mean, once a year's enough. You guys need to rein that shit in. Lord of the universe, the vast and the mighty one, creator of heaven and earth, maker of all things visible and invisible, master of the light and of the darkness, we adore thee and we invoke thee. Send us, a whole team of your holy guardian angels and divine spirits to clear away the darkness that surrounds our path day to day, the demonic alien force that seem to invaders from outside that have appeared on the scene and placed themselves as gate guardians within our communities to attack and promote their villainous agenda and toxic sludge among the people, reestablish human liberties worldwide, bring back the purity of our air and our water and the mental landscape. Good God in heaven, open up a ray of sunshine and fortify us and give us the strength and courage to fight against evil entities in any form, whether they be in the church or the government or the educational institutions, and promote goodness and fellowship among people. Bring back community. That's really what this alien attack has been on, is community and mom and pop businesses. They're just trying to decimate a traditional landscape of human interaction that's healthful and fun, and bring in some institutionalized, dark, asylum-like. I mean, you can see it. You know what's coming. So give us the strength and courage and fortitude to fight. To fight the good fight another day. And as above, so below. I'll sign off with this. I like you. I love y'all good-looking, sexy people out in Happy Land. Okay, so this guy, what is he doing? He's trying to run over the old lady in the wheelchair. He's acting strange, going around the curves. Just nerve-wracking fucking horse shit. I love y'all good-looking, sexy people out in Happy Land, and I will see you in the abodes of the future. Jen for now.